Well, I am recording this in my desktop mode on my release section, because if I play this on game mode, the game will crash. And I hope this works. I think it's working because if you can see the symbol up here with the 60 FPS and this volume thing going, the green little thing there. I'm going to move it to the northwest corner here. Let me see. That won't work. Okay, it's going to stay here, I guess. So these are kind of my first impressions. I already made a video of the first impressions, so I'm just going to go straight to the point, how I experience this update. I'm running this on a AM4 system, AMD basically. It's a Ryzen 3900X. I got 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. I'm using an M.2 SSD. I am using a GTX 1660. Before this update, in the previous engine, I think it was Unreal Engine 4, the game looked much more better for me. But I used to run this game on a potato. This is still a potato though. So just the first impressions of the menu here, you can see that it's not going to look very good. And let me go to my settings. It's up there, because if you're seeing the symbol, maybe you can't see it, but it's over here. I'm running this on the lowest possible settings. And this looked fine in the previous engine. It wasn't, any amazing looking, but it looked better than what it looked now, at least. It's the same settings as in the previous engine, but they have added some more stuff here. So let's go to training. Let's go to map. I'm gonna show some of my old tricks I used to do when I superfly while I talk about the game. So I'm gonna try to make this video as short as possible. Let's see now. I'm gonna go to Yehorivka directly here. I did clear my game cache files. You're supposed to do that every time, every time there's a new huge update, or especially when the game changes engines, you should actually just delete the whole game, just reinstall it completely. Despite that the game is a fresh reinstall, you should still do it though. Let's just speed up this process here so we can jump straight to the action. You can hear now, they added music to every map, which is kind of like annoying. And there is no way to turn it off unless you turn off the music in the game itself. Now, if you're a streamer or if you're recording videos, and if you're streaming, if you're playing music in the background but you're loading a map, this can sound very strange when the different musics, collide and, take out each other. Maybe this game will crash now, I'm not sure. Let me see what happens. It takes me forever to load the maps, despite using an M.2, SSD. I don't know why this is happening. The maps used to load much more faster in the previous update, in the previous engine. Okay. We're gonna go to the basement here and do some of my old tricks. I'm gonna call this electric floor. And it works still. All the old tricks I used to do, let's see, electric floor, are working, which is some good news. We're gonna drive there with the Logi so I can explain how horrible the driving is. I was so surprised when I tried this the first time. I was like, wow, that's crazy. So this is the only way I can record the game, which is in the desktop mode. It's not, the video might not look as good as in, game mode. I don't know why Mirrorless Action is crashing when I try to record in game mode. I'm suspecting it has something to do with the DirectX 12. So the crashes might happen because Unreal Engine 5 is using DirectX 12 and Unreal Action is using DirectX 12. They haven't updated their software for about a few months. Let me see. Yeah, since like April of this year. So yeah, they're not keeping up with the latest games basically. Anyways, let's continue. This is how it looks in a GTX 1660 with 6 gigabytes of RAM. It's very, I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of like everything is like moving strangely. It doesn't look good. It just looks like somebody threw up on the screen, you know? This looks like puke. Look at that. I'm gonna also, let's grab a Logi. I'm gonna go and make it to the, let's see, what is it called? The basement there. I kind of understand, you know, the new engine, you know, like if you have a great PC, it looks really good. I can imagine, you know, everything looks much more better, you know. So far, I don't know if you can see my FPS counter in the mirrorless section. It should be in the northeast corner of the screen. I can move it, but for some reason it doesn't work right now. When I press F7, I can move it to the, you know, southeast corner, northwest corner, but for some reason I can't do it right now. It's like my recording software just broke down after this update. Just can't handle it for some reason. And the purpose of me playing videos game is to stream and record. That's my hobby. So Off-World Industries just killed my hobby with this update until this gets fixed. So I might need to stop playing Spot, not only because streaming issues and recording issues, but because of performance issues. I am basically suffering in this game right now, at this moment, with my, you know, hardware. If you need to turn a Logi, it's like driving a boat. It's hard to explain. Compared to the old Logis, this Logis, if you drive fast and you need to turn sharp, it feels like you're turning a ship, you know, an oil tanker. It takes forever to turn. So if you're going to a sharp corner somewhere, I'm gonna go to a sharp street soon. I'm going to this location. I'm gonna go to this basement to show you some little tricks you can do. We're gonna go there, so we're gonna find a nice little road to cross. Let's take this road here. Turn sharp left. And I am basically hitting the house. This is my sharp turn. Okay, so in the old version, you can make this turn. Now that was me driving an old tanker, a huge ship, not a larger truck. That's what it feels like, you know. I don't understand this, you know, this wheel at all. This new, like, how to call it, steering. That doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm not a truck driver, so I can't tell you if this is realistic or not. But that doesn't feel good at all. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. I'm turning sharp right now, and I barely made it there. That was not a huge sharp, you know, turn, but you can see the issues here, right? That's not looking good. Or doesn't feel good, I mean. And there's this puke graphics also, which is not fun to look at. So let's go to the basement here. I'm gonna show you a little trick. The old tricks are still working, which is very good news. That's very good. I did go to the range and I tried to shoot a little, and I can tell you that the weapons feel more stable now compared to version 6. You know, when the game was recently released. So let me just build this ammo box. You know, you remember the ICO, that infantry overhaul combat, you know, combat overhaul, whatever it's called. That was a huge fuck up basically by Off-Road Industries. It looked so bad. It felt bad, you know. I mean, it looked good, but it felt bad. Now it feels more stable compared to that. But some stuff feels off. I'm gonna show you the RPGs. It's like they fucked them up completely, especially the scoped RPGs. Those are way off. When you shoot at a certain location, it's like they shoot 10 meters above where they're supposed to hit, or 20, 50 meters above, basically. It's like way off. But I can remember it, you know. I'm not playing RPGs that much, you know, light anti-tank. So, you know, for me, I remember how it used to feel, at least, you know, in the previous engine. In this engine, they fucked sometimes completely, man. They need to check the, you know, LATs completely. Like, especially the scoped ones. I'm gonna show you in a moment. They're just so fucked up. I was like, that makes no sense, man. So this old trick, this electric floor trick, is very good. You can still working. So you need to place the barbed wires about 75%. You know, the top needs to be going through the wall slightly. It takes some time to do it, but once you get it right, you just need to tap this, and it will work. Just take some time. I did it yesterday. There we go. If you do this little trick inside this basement, if this is an active objective, the enemies will be fucked. I can guarantee you that. You can protect this radio against the whole enemy army with these barbed wires. Just one soldier with a fast shovel can keep them off. I will show you how this looks when I try it in the real, you know, scenario. I'm gonna get the hab down so I can respawn here. Also, let me just drop a little hab, second floor. So what can I say? I'm also, something's different also when it comes to, you know, turning stuff like this. I used to use the arrow keys, now that's not working anymore. I don't know why. Which is like an old habit of mine, using the arrow keys. Now I need to go to Q and E buttons to do that, which is kind of annoying. I'm not used to doing that. If I manage to play this game in the future, that is. That's going to be annoyingness for me. Let me just switch kits really fast, build this hab. And what else can I say? This update is going to be mixed emotions. The game looks different. It's like a different game, definitely. It looks better if you have a good PC. The shadows looks better, you know, but something's off though. So when I first saw this, I was both excited and sad and scared in the same time. That's the emotions I had going through me when I saw the first images. I was like, this is gonna require a PC from the future to run smooth, you know. I don't think they have invented the GPUs yet for this game, because it's not optimized. And Off-Road Industries had always issues with optimizing this game. Even back in the days when I started to play Squad, back in 2016, I played this on an even worse potato. I had a GTX 660 back then with 1.5 gigabytes of RAM. But despite that, it was playable, you know. But here, I'm having lag spikes, and it's like this stutters and you name it, you know. The game, the first time I tried to play this, you know, new update, it crashed twice. Just when I started the game, I was like, I didn't even make it to the main menu. I was like, what's going on, dude? That's pretty crazy. Okay, let me show the electric floor trick really fast. So it's still working, which is good news. So once you walk over here, the top of the electric floor will hit your feet. You can't hear me scream, but I'm getting hurt. And if you place barbed wires across this whole floor here, the enemies can't do shit, basically. And you can just troll them. You can keep one exit open in the middle so the friendlies can leave, but they will die like this. It's a beautiful trick, man. Easy kills too. So, yeah. So that's working. You can also do flying Hesco blocks. That's also a good feature to use in a. If you want a super effective, you know, effective super fob, you need to force the enemies to crawl through doors instead of running, you know, inside and breaching through fast. So if you mix flying Hesco blocks with the electric floor trick, they're fucked basically. There's nothing they can do really. I mean, they can do some stuff to mess up the super fob, but if you have somebody building back stuff in the basement, you should be fine. If you have several people defending the basement, one squad can keep off the whole enemy team here. But here's the issue with squad though. It has changed so much, the player base has moved, like the veterans like me, and I think I'm a veteran. If I show I'm not bragging, I'm just saying I got 10,800 hours in this game. I've been around since 2016. I've seen the players come and go, the community change, all the updates from 2016 up until this moment. I'm recording this video, which is on the 5th of, September 2025. I've been around, man, like for many years. Not many years, but a few years, I know how this game works inside and out. I know every little trick in the book. I know every part of the map, except the new Albastra, which is completely changed. It's not the same game as it used to be, though. People are not playing, working together as a team. It's hard to find servers where there is good teamwork and people actually listen to the squad leaders or listen to squad leaders listen to each other and work together. That's very rare, man. People play this like it's Call of Duty instead of squad. You need to stay together as a team, work together, defend together, communicate, Sometimes it happens, but it's very rare to get a good round where people defend and work together. It's a very rare thing to see, which is sad. This game is based on teamwork, And while I speak about this, let me just build flying Hesco block really fast. So you can build a super fob by yourself with nobody. If nobody wants to help you build it, you can do it yourself. Just demonstrate it here. These are simple tricks that can make a super fob very toxic for the enemies. But remember, no super fob is invisible. Every super fob will get proxied if the team doesn't defend and stay in the point, stay in a safe position, not get killed. If everybody stayed inside this building basically and you make this floor electric, you can win the game. But nobody wants to play like that, So people just run outside and die, and then they complain later. Super fobs never work. They bitch and complain all the time, but they don't understand though. If you stay together, it's a squad, it's a team. 2-3 squads in the building, one in the basement, 2 on the second floor, shooting grenades. Shooting rockets, shooting with the rifles. Defending. Maybe have a backup hub around the areas. Drop some backup fobs, maybe a radio here, a hab over there, so you can respawn. If this gets proxied, you can have like 2 backup fobs here. And if you have like backup fobs and a super fob that's with electric floor trick here, death traps, if your team works together, there's not much the enemies can do. But people never understand that. Even with the backup habs, people they just die and they lose a point. Yeah. And I built super fobs out of those almost 11,000 hours, I built super fobs for about half of that time. So I got about 4,500, 5,000 hours of super fob constructions, designing them, building them, failing and winning for 5,000 hours. So I know a little thing about super fobs too. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about where is this going, is this going to work? So that's how you force the enemies to crawl and get stuck. You can remove this also, so your friends can leave. So what do I feel about this? It makes me sad I can't record it in game mode. That's the first thing. Why this game keeps crashing, and this thing is annoying too, this sound, this music in every map you change, it's gonna be like that every time. I don't need this. I don't want this, Why would I do this? I don't know. So, let me go to the settings really fast, see what happens if I turn off the music. Just a second. It's so strange to hear Persian, in this game. But I like it, It's something different. Let me see now. Music volume. Let's turn it off. Apply. Here's the issue though. I'm gonna switch maps after I show this little trick here. This little radio trick. So if I turn off the music, will it turn off, you know, the music, the round ends too? It's kind of sad that you need to turn off all the music to turn off this like map loading music. Why can't I have that in the options like here? If that happens, then you're forced to be with either with all the music or with non-music, which is kind of stupid. Let's go to this part of the city. There's a little building here. You can hide the radio in a balcony. That's the best spot I could find. With my 10,000 hours of experience, I know Albastra, every building. And they removed all the fun buildings here, man. All the buildings I'm used to have to hide my radios in. This one, for example, close to the Blue Mosque, is gone. This tall rise building you can hide the radio in is also gone. Which is gonna make hiding radios in buildings with no doors extra hard. Or impossible. There's no such buildings anymore. I haven't played the new Albastra that much, so I can't tell you if it's fun or not. I don't like the way it looks though. It's just too... I don't know, man. It's a completely different map now. Will it be more balanced now? Because of this new foliage, you know, this new... I don't know what to call it, bushes or whatever, the greenery they've added to it. Maybe. You know, there's more, you can flank easier now. There's more places to hide and flank and stuff like that. But the island is not unique anymore. You can basically cross through the river here. You can cross through all these parts here. All this is shallow here. So there is no unique defense for island. If you're gonna superfab here, there's no point really. Like, back in the days, this was the only entrance, and this was the only entrance back in the days, you know. Or you have to swim over with a vehicle from there to reach that, you know. Maybe drop a radio here and a flank from the north, get to rally, you know, flank through the what was called the beach line. But now you can flank from everywhere, which is a good and a bad thing, depending on if you're defending or attacking. I don't know, it just feels boring somehow now. It looks boring. It's just... I don't feel it. It doesn't feel the same. It just feels... meh, you know. I mean, it looks slightly more nicer, you know, but... I'll just turn this oil ship a little. Just give me a second. I'm suffering to drive this oil ship. Okay. Sorry, I mean Logi. I'm getting confused because it feels like I'm driving an oil ship, oil tanker. So, anyways, let's go to the point there and do a little radio trick. That's the best I can do, which I figured out fast yesterday when I played this, try this out for 1 hour. I recorded the video, but that video got corrupted, so I couldn't post that video. Here's what it looks like when I try to record in game mode. I'll double click here. And I get this, you can't open the file, it gets corrupted, man. It's like, this update fucked me up completely. I can't do anything, man. It's like I can't record videos anymore. My game crashes all the time. Like, okay. That's a nice update, I guess. I can barely play it. When I first started it, I had 5 FPS or 2 FPS in the main menu. Now, I don't know if you can see it, I have 60, stable 60, which is strange. I cleared the game cache files before I started to record this, so, you know. This used to be my building. It had a balcony there, and it was a 2-story building, much more shorter and more square than this, I guess. Then I replaced it with this boring building. That's no fun. But here, you can hide the radio on the 2nd floor. This balcony is not a real balcony. You could hide it there, but you can't really. It's not registering as like a balcony, but this one is still good. So I'm going to show you how to do this really fast. Show you a little trick or two, you know, you can fuck with enemies a little. We're going to try to destroy the radio with an RPG. You're going to see how off the RPGs are, so you can see my point. How bad this is. Okay, let's do that. We're going to get the ladder right here. Okay, my friend. Ladder here. This is the fast trick you can do. You if you have time, if you're gonna shift right beside the city here and hide the radio, this is a good spot, I think, so far, until I find a better one, if I manage to play this in the future. So you get 2 ladders, and then you need to get another 3rd ladder to reach the 2nd floor. So if you play, you can place the radio in this balcony, but a C4 can maybe fuck it up, so I will place it on the 2nd balcony to be extra safe, you know. Let's see, come on. This is a very tricky thing to do. I guess I'll do that. It's not... I can make it higher, but I don't know why it doesn't work right now. Let's do this really fast. So... I'm not sure how to feel about this update yet. It's just... makes me sad, though. That's what it makes me feel bad. But I've been around since, you know, 2016. The game was at its peak at around 2016, 2017. It was a lot of fun, man. And then they fucked up like something with the, you know, performance in the Alpha 12 update. And they fixed the Alpha 12. It was really bad, like lag as fuck, you know. They had new like graphic settings and stuff, and yeah. So after they fixed that patch, it kind of went stable. And then they made another update after that, huge update, and that fucked up the game too again. So I was complaining about that stuff a lot. And also this stuff is ridiculous. You can't even see through the sandbags anymore. I don't know why this is looking... It's like you're looking through smoke instead of through a net. So this stuff is kind of useless right now at the moment. They need to fix that too. You used to be able to see through this stuff much more clearer. Like if you were close like this, you can even see through the sandbags from here, basically. And see across the street. But here, you have to get through the sandbag almost, and you can still see. You still can't see anything. Look at that. That's ridiculous, man. That is ridiculous. So, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna place a radio here yet. I have to place a ladder here. Let me see. It should be about there somewhere. Get green, baby. There we go. So here's the question, though. Are they listening to their community, off-road industries? I don't think they do. I think they care more about, you know, this stuff. The microtransactions, you know, and this stupid emotes, and just... I don't know, man. Even since they added this, I knew way back... That's the end of this, you know, they lost their soul, basically, when they did that, you know. Now people can argue, you know, it's a private company, yada, 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 but I told people, we're not gonna add microtransactions, and then they changed owners. It's a long story short. And they just kept fucking up the game, you know. I was mad in the beginning, because I really loved this game. I mean, I spent 11,000 hours almost in it. You love a game and you spend so much time in it, so... Let me just remove this radio really fast and place a new upstairs to show how it works. I used to make these videos when I complained about every new update and how bad it was compared to the old one, you know, the older version of the game. But they don't give a fuck. The off-road, you know, the developers, they never do. The only thing they care about is getting new players and, you know, getting to buy the new, you know, whatever the shit this is, you know. And fucking up the gameplay experience, the performance of the game, stuff like that. So is this a fuck up? It feels like it. To be honest. Don't get me wrong though, the game looks better, but it doesn't feel good. The performance is ass for low-end users like me. And it keeps crashing the recording software. It's like, they fucked everything up here. Completely. Which makes me sad. I paid for this game and I want to enjoy it, you know. But I guess it's too much to ask for, you know. Optimizations, make things work. Here's the radio. To leave this place, I'm gonna show you. I have to jump here, go down this ladder here. You have to remove this ladder so enemies can't touch the radio. That's the point of this thing, to hide them, you know, in a good spot. I can do this much more faster when you have a squad working for you, but I'm gonna make it slower here. But that's okay. I'm gonna comment while I do this. I've checked out, you know, the Reddit threads, and there's also mixed emotions. Just like when version 6 ICO was released, you know. Some people left, some people stayed, but they complained, they didn't like it. Some people, you know, that are, let me say, challenged in the brain, loved it. So you're gonna have mixed bag of people, you know. People are in general stupid, they don't understand what, you know, maybe they didn't play this game back in the days, they don't know what they're missing or what they used to have, so they don't understand. So my take on it is, people don't need to fight about this stuff, to be honest. But people do, because they're stupid. People keep taunting each other online, you know, and, you know, stuff like that. They argue about the stupidity. But in the end, the devs don't give a fuck about any of them. So, like, they're fighting about nothing, basically. So, yeah. I don't know where this is going, what I'm supposed to feel. I don't know, man. I just kind of sad right now. But I'm not gonna jump to conclusions yet. Let's see what happens in the future if they patch the game, maybe optimize it a little better at least, so it's slightly more stable. Stuff like that, you know. Now I'm gonna show you how the RPGs work in this game, the scoped RPGs. My mind was blown away yesterday. I was like, is this really happening right now? Like, why? Watch this. So, in the previous engine, if you shoot an RPG, there's my radio over there. That top cross is where the rocket should go, you know? So it should be hitting in that line over there. Watch this. That's where the rocket hits. Does that make any sense to you? So if I use a rifle here, I'm gonna shoot this Logi, I'm expecting to hit the tire, right? Yeah. That's hitting the tire. Imagine if I shot here and the shot went over there. There somewhere, you know? It's like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm not a gun expert, but that doesn't feel good. I don't know, man, but it's just weird. So if you need to use the scoped RPGs, you have to basically... You have to aim... Let me see, where is it? You have to aim like 10 meters below it, maybe 5 meters below it. Yeah, 5 meters below it. See my radio there, the radio symbol northwest is slightly hurt. Back in the days, in the previous version, that will fuck up the radio by a quarter maybe, or a fourth, you know. So radio is there, I need to hit somewhere there to hit the wall there, so I have to hit over here somewhere. See? And it hit all the way up there, I think. I don't know. I can't even hit my own radio, man, which is kind of strange. Let's switch to the non-scoped RPG. Let's see if that is better. Let's try to hit my radio again. That's more straightforward, but it barely managed to destroy the radio. So this is a good hiding spot for the radios. If you want to hide it from the enemies, they have to use a 25mm, you know, or tank or something to damage it. And maybe even then, if they find it, I mean, if they see it there. But soldiers can't shovel this easily. If they jump from the roof, if they can even manage to get to the roof. How about they jump down here without dying? I don't know, but you know. Anyways. I can also show you a nice little ship fab area for the airport. It's going to be in military here. Vehicles feel heavier compared to the older version, which feels nice, you know. I haven't tried the tanks yet, but I read that people told, you know, people typing in Reddit or whatever, you know, in the different comments that they drive too slow, they're too heavy. I don't know, maybe they are, but tanks are supposed to feel heavy. They're supposed to feel heavy, so, you know, I'm not complaining about that stuff. But I'm worried, you know. I'm worried that I might not be able to play this game despite how shitty it's been the last, I don't know, 2 years. I still love to play it though. It's a unique game. You build super fobs, you work, you have squads, you work together. If you have some good friends you play with, it's a lot of fun, dude. It really is. There's no game like it in the market right now that is like Squad. Unfortunately, they have no competitors, so the devs don't need to give a fuck about their audience or their, you know, their customers. Which is a shame. In a capitalist world, if you have competitors that can do stuff better and cheaper, then you're forced to adapt or you will lose. But they have no competition, that's the problem. And they're backed up by these huge YouTubers that praise them, that lose their brains because the critical thinking is gone because they're sponsored by off-road industries. So people that are actually caring about this game never get their voices heard. That's the way life is sometimes, you know. And I can't turn this. Look at this. Oh, that's horrible. I hate the way the lodge is driving this game, dude. This is annoying, man. If I wanted to play the ship simulator, I will have bought the ship simulator, okay? I want to drive a fucking truck, not a fucking oil container, man. Holy crap, dude. If you want to build something nice, there's a nice little room here for a super fob. It's on the second floor. There is not a door, there's only these windows to worry about, but I'm gonna show you a little trick. Let me do this. Oh shit, did I switch kits? Fuck! Hold on, let me see, maybe I can switch kits really fast. Let's do this, you know, it's gonna be a longer video, but why not? Let me show you a little tricks here while I'm at it. In case I don't manage to play this in the future, at least you're gonna learn some tricks today, if you're watching this video. So, yeah. Here it is, that's the floor. I'm not sure this is gonna work good, but it's worth trying, you know. Radio here. Box here. Hab through, let me see, before we do the hab, let me do this little trick here. I'm gonna get the flying little wall, the bunker here, so the enemies can't go through the door. So you can defend the radio, but I have to remove this to get inside the room completely. You can still shoot him though, you're gonna see. It's a nice little trick here. About there. There we go. Just build the ammo box really fast so we can save some time. So this is one of my old hold the radio trick. Flying bunker. I love that this old trick still works because the devs don't give a fuck about fixing the game. They just want that fast cash, you know, emotes and weapon skins instead of actually fixing this shit, you know. I'm not complaining though. I don't want them to fix this, you know, electric floor trick or the flying Heskell blocks. That makes the game more fun, to be honest. In my super fobs, very toxic, so I love it. So don't change this, devs. That's great. But they can actually fix the optimization, the performance, you know, make this game playable for the old players that have shittier PCs, you know. If you're gonna change a game to a new game engine, don't make, you know, don't exclude, like, I don't know, 30% of your players or whatever it is, you know, that have like cheap PCs. That's not cool, according to me, because I have a shitty PC. Should I get another PC? Of course I should get another PC, but at this point with the prices, I can't afford it, man. It is what it is, you know. So you can place this head through the wall. I know you can because I did it yesterday. Just find a little spot for it. Let's see, it's gonna be like this maybe. Hold on. There, wall should go there. There we go. Get the box for the friendlies somewhere on the opposite side. Let's build this fast so I can show you how this works. Let me also place some kind of... I will actually place a bunker here, but I can't fit it here. Let me just check. So this is experimental superfab. I haven't tried it yet. But technically, it should be working. This should block off the enemy tank. Technically, this window door here can't go. You can't have any open windows here. So you have to basically block this off. So there, shells can't go through. But I don't see where the fuck this door goes. Let me just check something. This door is over there. Okay, that's the line. Let me see. It's over there. Okay. And it should go here, technically. There we go. And a little wall here if it's possible to fit it. But you can't. So that's going to be a problem, you see. What you can do, maybe some kind of Heska block or something. Here somewhere, just to give you some kind of protection from explosive shells or something else. You can do this differently, but this is like an initial, just, you know, a concept superfab. I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know why I need that one, but let's do it. So yeah, as a veteran of this game, I think I deserve to call myself a veteran after 11,000 hours. I'm feeling sad. That's my first reaction. But I hope it gets better in the future. I'm not gonna be too negative about it. I hope it gets better in the future. It gets more stable. Maybe if, you know, upgrade to a better PC, this might run smoother and feel better. But I've seen people post in Reddit that I have, you know, RTX, I don't know, 1590, and they still get FPS drops and shit. I'm like, how is that possible, dude? I don't know. It's strange. This game is not supposed to, you know, choke RTX, you know, 1590s, whatever they're called nowadays. You know, like that's crazy, man. Like, what kind of PC do you need from the future to actually run this? You know, I don't get it. That's pretty crazy. But I also seen people post, you know, that they can run this on a RTX 3060. It's not, you know, perfectly smooth, but it's playable and it's decent, you know, stable FPS. I don't know, 75, 60, whatever. Some people have 144 FPS, but they're running this on the best hardware you can find, basically. But despite that, they still might get some lags and, you know, frame drops and shit. So yeah, I don't know, man. So what I will do here in this location, I will actually place a bunker. But since this meshing is broken, you can't see anything through it. I mean, I can't even see the door here. I think it's there, but I can't see it, so it's not working at this moment. So when they fix the netting in the future, there's gonna be great superfab. You can place a little bunker here somewhere. And from here, you can throw grenades below the door, shoot them. You know, when they fix the netting, you can see the enemies through the door, and throw grenades and kill them all outside, while your boys are rebuilding the hab. It's a great little simple superfab, you know. Just build this fast so you see what I'm talking about here. I'm gonna cut this video after this. So I'm happy that this game is looking better. That's my verdict. But I'm sad that I can't play it maybe in the future, or, you know, from now on. I can't record it normally. I can't maybe even stream it. I'm gonna try this weekend, but I have a dreadful feeling that I need to stop to play this until I buy a new PC, or they fix this, or they patch this somehow, you know. That's my feeling right now. It's a mixed emotions, man. Like, I don't know. I've been around for so long. It makes me sad they don't really care about the old players, man. It just makes me sad. Yeah, it is what it is, though. It is what it is. That crack in the window there is not good. That will actually fuck me up completely. So I have to basically think how to build this differently. But this is the main, you know, initial concept, though. So here's the trick. The enemies are gonna try to go through here, but they can't because this thing is blocking them. You can't crawl through here. So what you need to do is stay behind this bunker, throw grenades through the door, and fuck them up when they try to go inside. But if they don't try to go inside, they just, you know, stay behind there and try to remove the hab, you can still build back through the wall. Like this. The best way to have is one sniper can keep off like a full squad, maybe even 2 squads. At least in the previous version. In this version, it might work differently, but here, let me just try to remove the hab. 1 second. This should work technically. There we go. There we go. So now you can see me remove the hab, right? You can also rebuild it through the wall. So The enemies can never remove the hab if you have a sapper, dedicated sapper, or 2 riflemen building back, basically. That's how you fuck with the enemies, man. And one guy, once you can see the net, you can just throw a grenade here. I'm gonna show you as a rifleman here. So I imagine the door is somewhere, let's see, somewhere there, right? It should be there. If you right click, you can throw a grenade at the door. I'm gonna see it. Let's see, it exploded right at the door. If there are enemies outside here, guy standing over here will die. This guy will definitely die, you know. You get easy kills. And then the medics are gonna try to pick them up. And then you kill them too, you know. They're gonna stand maybe over there and shoot at you from distance, try to hit you, but they can't do shit really, you know. They can throw all the rockets they want, grenades. It's not gonna help. Because if you crouch, you just need to crouch here and not get hit by any grenades, you know, or rockets. So, and if you get damaged, you will have a medic next to you, behind you. Hopefully you have a squad that's, you know, working, that's understanding what you're doing. They can pick you up. They can build back the hab. If they throw a C4, just go all the way to the corner here, keep some distance until it explodes. One guy maybe needs to sacrifice himself to die or, you know, build back the hab, but you can also always pick him up after he gets killed by C4. So, whatever they do, if you have a competent, you know, squad, like my friends that I play with, they're competent. When I tell them to do stuff, they do it and they understand what I'm doing. So, you know, if you have a competent squad that understands how this game works, you can keep the enemies off with one squad only, the whole enemy team basically. Unless they use armored vehicles. Yeah, by the way, this guy over here will have been dead by now, you know. That's how it works. Unless they use an LAV through the crack of this window and fuck it up, or with a tank. That's my worst enemy basically, in an open, you know, area like this. In a basement, they can't do shit. Not tanks, nothing can do anything in the previous Super 5 I showed you. So this is 10,835 hours of experience talking. So when people tell me Super 5s don't work, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, because I've been around, you know, I've seen victories and losses with Super 5s. I developed them to be as effective as possible. They were so effective, my Super 5s got banned in some servers because they were so good. So I know what I'm talking about, my friend. At least I know, but I know Super 5s. Anyways, so if I can manage to play this game in the future, it's going to be interesting to try out the new mechanics and stuff like that. And if I don't, then I'm grateful for playing this game for so many years as I did. I had a lot of fun. I made a lot of new friends. People in this community, in Arabic and American servers, if you ask them who is Vijit, most of them will know. Not everybody, but you know, the admins at least will know who the fuck I am, you know. I've been around for many years, man. People know me. You know, not many, but some people know me at least, you know. I'm known here. I'm not known on YouTube or in Rumble, where I usually stream, you know, or Twitch, but in the game itself, people know who Vijit is, man. He's that crazy guy that builds some crazy Super 5s. Anyways, I'm gonna miss this game if I can't play it in the future. It feels kind of sad, you know. It used to be one of these things I used to do on weekends, you know, gather with friends, fuck around, stream a little, you know, edit some videos, having some fun with it, you know. So, without further ado, this was Vijit. First impressions of Unreal Engine 5, I think it's called. I don't even care what the name of the engine is, to be honest. It looks good though, but not on me, not my PC. Hopefully I'll see you in the future, and if not, maybe I'll see you in a different time, in a different place, in a different universe. Or maybe not. Who knows what happens, you know. But thanks for watching. If you stayed through this video, you've been a trooper. This was a veteran's, you know, perspective of things and this game, basically. So, see you around, maybe. Goodbye, my friends.